1903 Black Saturday occurs, killing 12 in a stadium collapse in Philadelphia. 1908 Wilbur Wright makes his first flight at a racecourse at Le Mans, France. It is the Wright brothers' first public flight. 1918 World War I. The Battle of Amiens begins a string of almost continuous Allied victories with a push through the German front lines, 100 Days Offensive. 1919 The Anglo-Afghan Treaty of 1919 is signed. It establishes peaceful relations between Afghanistan and the UK, and confirms the Durand Line as the mutual border. In return, the UK is no longer obligated to subsidize the Afghan government. 1929 The German airship Graf Zeppelin begins a round-the-world flight. 1940 The Aufbau Ost directive is signed by Wilhelm Keitel. 1942 Quit India movement is launched in India against the British rule in response to Mohandas Gandhi's call for Swaraj or complete independence. 1945 The London Charter is signed by France, the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union and the United States, establishing the laws and procedures for the Nuremberg trials. 1946 First flight of the Convair B-36, the world's first mass-produced nuclear weapon delivery vehicle, the heaviest mass-produced piston-engined aircraft, with the longest wingspan of any military aircraft, and the first bomber with intercontinental range. 1963 Great Train Robbery. In England, a gang of 15 train robbers steal £2.60 million in banknotes. 1963 The Zimbabwe African National Union, ZANU, the current ruling party of Zimbabwe, is formed by a split from the Zimbabwe African People's Union. 1967 The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, is founded by Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. 1969 At a zebra crossing in London, photographer Ian McMillan takes the iconic photo that becomes the cover image of the Beatles' album Abbey Road. 1973 Kim Dae-jung, a South Korean politician and later president of South Korea, is kidnapped. 1974 President Richard Nixon, in a nationwide television address, announces his resignation from the office of the President of the United States effective noon the next day. 1988 The 8888 uprising begins in Rangoon, Yangon, Burma, Myanmar. Led by students, hundreds of thousands join in nationwide protests against the one-party regime. On September 18, the demonstrations end in a military crackdown, killing thousands. 1988 The first night baseball game in the history of Chicago's Wrigley Field. Game was rained out in the fourth inning. 1989 Space Shuttle Program. STS-28 mission. Space Shuttle Columbia takes off on a secret 5-day military mission. 1990 Iraq occupies Kuwait and the state is annexed to Iraq. This would lead to the Gulf War shortly afterward. 1991 The Warsaw radio mast, then the tallest construction ever built, collapses. 1993 The 7.8 MW Guam earthquake shakes the island with a maximum Mercalli intensity of X, violent, causing around $250 million in damage and injuring up to 71 people. 1998 Iranian consulate in Mazar-i-Sharif, Afghanistan is raided by Taliban leading to the deaths of 10 Iranian diplomats and a journalist. 2000 Confederate submarine H.L. Hunley is raised to the surface after 136 years on the ocean floor and 30 years after its discovery by undersea explorer E. Lee Spence. 2001 Albanian rebels ambush a convoy of the Army of the Republic of Macedonia near Tetovo, killing 10 soldiers. 2004 A tour bus belonging to the Dave Matthews Band dumps approximately 800 pounds of human waste onto a boat full of passengers. 2007 An EF2 tornado touches down in Kings County and Richmond County, New York, the most powerful tornado in New York to date and the first in Brooklyn since 1889. 2008 A Eurocity Express train en route from Krakow, Poland to Prague, Czech Republic strikes a part of a motorway bridge that had fallen onto the railroad track near Studenka railway station in the Czech Republic and derails, killing 8 people and injuring 64 others. 2008 The 29th Modern Summer Olympic Games took place in Beijing, China until August 24. 2010 China floods. A mudslide in Zhuqiu County, Gansu, China, kills more than 1,400 people. 2013 A suicide bombing at a funeral in the Pakistani city of Quetta kills at least 31 people. 2015 8 people are killed in a shooting in Harris County, Texas. 2016 terrorists attack a government hospital in Quetta, Pakistan with a suicide blast and shooting, killing between 70 and 94 people, and injuring around 130 others.